like, what's happening?
No, it's okay. It's good for the heart. All the way back.
Oh! That jolts the heart.
It's good for you, man.
It went in right here and out right there.
You grabbed it to
right across my
grabbed
heart.
it to the truck.
My big fat belly laying on the metal. Woo! That's a 66 Ford F250 if this is your... Well, it is 0 bright 30 o'clock, and I spent the last several days getting this thing ready to go. I think now is the time to just apply some gas to it and see how much noise we can make. No use messing around. Let's do it. Siphon action going. Yeah, that's probably not a thing. Yeah, that's not enough to do anything. So how much of this I can spill everywhere? I better go over here. Didn't spill a drop. Turn the key, see what Well, that's a good sign. Where did I put my all alone starter button? Accelerator pump accelerates, or pumps, something. Battery ain't got enough juice. Gonna hook it up to a charger. I gotta mow the lawn anyway, so yeah, you know. Battery only had 11 amps, so that's why it just wasn't cranking fast enough to do all the things it needs to actually run good. So get a good charge. I'm gonna go mow the lawn. All these dumb delays, I should have put the charger on it last night. Didn't even think about it.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
And needless, wait, a couple things.
Yep.
So, the fuel air mixture screws,
They're out 2 1/4.
perfect. And you brought them out 2 1/2, and you just so that we get off the spring tension, you put it a quarter back in.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
That's done. Fuel.
Do your initial timing without the
Yes,
vacuum
it
advance.
is. I saw you got it plugged off, which is turn the key on.
All right, we're ready. That's it. Keys on. I've got my little remote start button. We're ready?
Yeah.
240. That looks like 120 degrees. That looks like 200. Blue and black smoke pretty much. This is bad. What the heck?
I'm thinking at least 2. I mean, that's pretty close to where she is.
So this exit is at 128. It's 200, 350, 330. So the back two are a lot cooler than the front.
Okay, so
And then this one is only 95.
and that's from the other, and that's from the other cylinder heating it up. So now it's time to pull that off. Okay, let's check it. We gotta check it. So get yourself a screwdriver and stick it up in there.
Are you checking for spark? Is that,
Yep.
I've got one of the little light.
Okay, then perfect. Get that. I prefer that. This other way is quite dark. So go ahead and stick that in that one. We need to idle this up a little bit. Get a little screwdriver.
Let's see. This is actually supposed to go on the other end.
So this goes onto the plug.
I don't think it'll reach down in there though.
It won't.
Not far enough. Just put it on the cap though.
Okay. Let's just pull it.
And then put this on there, put that up into there. Put this back in here so it's grounded.
Okay. Let's stick it back on. And then a little screwdriver.
So
Just adjust it up a little.
jeez, it's like, what's happening?
No, it's okay. It's good for the heart. It blows all that junk out. It blows all that junk out of your veins.
I gotta blow the carbon out of there. Jeez. I was about to jump back. What's going on? That's funny.
Okay, go ahead. Firing and doing everything. Let's try there. Go ahead. No, come on, come on.
Sparking? I guess it is. I just don't have enough juice to this thing.
I don't think you even get enough gas coming in.
Is it sucking air?
Well, there's not much in this filter.
No, I'll bet we can be sucking air. The thing's only not even a third full.
Oh.
That could be a thing, you know?
That could be an issue. It could be an issue. Well, these things get like, 8 feet to the gallon.
Right, that's true. And we haven't even gone 8 feet. This thing up here real quick.
It's got gas if you can.
Yeah, just off though.
There's nothing here.
Let me just pop this thing all the way off. Let's not mess around.
Is it alright if I do something else?
Yeah, do whatever you're feeling, right?
Yeah.
Because it could be something simple, you know?
Well, let's just find out.
Let's hope it's something simple.
Is this cap Phillips or common?
Which? Sorry.
The cap? Does it feel this
It actually has both.
It has both?
Well, it's like cross. It's a plus down in there, but a flathead opens it. If that makes sense.
No, it does.
I'm not sure how to say what I mean.
No, you got it. I got you.
We're not going to have a fuel delivery issue now unless the
Okay.
pump dies.
I just want to pull the cap real quick.
Okay.
I just want to look on the underside I just want to look. Sometimes carbon trails will cause it.
Yep.
We've done this a few times.
Oh yeah. Tired of doing it is what I am.
No.
I'm ready to enjoy it.
I hear you.
One more. That's it. Grab this little step stool so you can see what we're doing.
You got a rag?
Yeah, let me grab some. There's a step stool so you can get taller.
Whatever this is.
There it is. That's it. There we go.
And there we are.
That's the one. Fuse down the gullet. Let's fill the bowl. Down the throat.
Okay, we're good to go.
Alright.
We're still hot, so let's go.
Incoming.
Yep.
Go around. Outside.
Try again. Go.
Top of black smoke. It's got to be one cylinder now. That's like it's done. That's pretty close right here. Sit there and come up to this. Yeah, it's got a serious pitch. Not that high, right? heart.
Good for you, man.
It went in right here and out right there.
You grabbed it to
right across my
grabbed
heart.
it to the truck.
My big fat belly laying on the metal. Woo! Hello.
Oh.
That's good stuff. I can see why you jump so high. Because it hurts a little.
Well, I mean, what do we got?
The pride more than anything.
What do we got? 50,000 volts?
Jeez.
Just like a stun gun. But don't you feel revitalized?
A little. Woo.
Yeah.
Like a little advanced warning that it's coming, though.
I mean, it's just
Brace yourself, you know, something.
You got something,
Ow!
you got something to lock the timing down.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad it wasn't just you.
No.
Good stuff.
Oh, I bet you I should have pulled that one.
Yeah, I was going to put that one back on and then pull that one, but,
Huh?
you know, my life changed there for a second. Holy Moses!
Oh my God!
I'm not a swearing man, but I about did.
So did you see the veil?
There was a lot of white. That's all I know.
No tongue.
Oh man, that's good stuff. Shoot. Yep, that's been a minute since I've been jolted that good.
Yeah, I saw Grandma. I saw Grandpa.
Hey, what are you doing here? Oh boy.
Some little tiny lady saying, "Go into the light."
Go towards the light. Voices behind me. Run from the light. Oh man. That's good stuff. Well, shoot.
I mean,
Close.
This is good now. This is
Yep.
good now.
Gotta figure out what's happening back there. Like I said, I was gonna pull this side anyway, but I bought the full set of gaskets.
You want to pull it real quick?
Yeah, might as well.
Let's do it.
Yes, 7/16. Yep, sure enough. Let's get extension going.
That's too loose.
Wow, that's warm.
Yeah, well, she warmed up.
That guy.
I mean, they're opening. And then that doesn't explain why she's missing like that. I mean, that one is loose.
Right.
But that's not, I mean, it's still opening and not. I think it's plug time.
Okay. If you'll pull the thing, I'll grab the plug.
Go for
It's
it.
way back there.
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
Let's see if we can get in there then.
Either way, this valve train should be quiet.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So I really feel that
There
very,
was a
very
lot of
last one.
chatter in there.
That very, very last one is I think too loose.
Too many things in my hands, they get confused. Look, it's shiny.
Yes. Maybe I'm the same way. Well, see, you're much more chatty now after the shock.
What are you saying?
I'm offended that you think that I'm offended.
Then you get, it's like someone who's at a near death. They become more and more more happy.
It was a life-changing moment.
They're just happy that they're here now.
Woo! Look at that sunset. Haven't seen a sunset in a minute.
It's midday.
I know. I can still see the light. Man, Metallica Ride the Lightning is coming to mind. I mean, it doesn't look awful,
No,
except it's got a spark out here on the outside,
which is a concern.
like it's sparking this way instead
Exactly.
of up.
Exactly.
Maybe it's
And
not
then-
gapped correctly or something.
Well,
See if I can get that to show on camera. We're blowing out the side of the electrode. There you go. Proper terminology. So we're going to be into it at least one spark plug at this point.
the one I'm concerned It seems like it's always like the back two.
Right, the hardest ones to get to.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's just the way it always seems to be.
It's fact. And I try to leave them in the little guides so I know which.
So you know which one goes where.
Don't want to have to think too hard again. You know?
I noticed how you had them in line where they go.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
It's sooty.
Soot.
Yeah, it's running rich, right?
Way
That's
rich.
what that means.
Exactly.
See, I'm no dummy.
No, you got it. You know it.
I'm new, but I'm no dummy.
No, you got it right. Might as well do this.
Yep. So I'm just going to set them over here in order of cylinder. Well, I think we found our smoking gun for why the engine's rocking like crazy. We have a little bit of a misfire, a gallop in the engine. Check this out. That's the rod from cylinder number 5. Right there. This is what it's supposed to look like. So I actually took this part from the old motor. I've got all of them. I kept it all in a bag. I pulled them all out, double checked for making sure that one is straight, and I cleaned it up, took it for a ride on the wire wheel, sprayed carb cleaner through it, and cleaned the outside. It's now, well, it's as good as it's going to be. It doesn't look scored or anything on it. I had my neighbor Joe also look at that, just double check my work, make sure that I picked the straightest one, and we're good to go. It's this one right here, the very first valve. I don't know if that's intake or exhaust. I believe that's exhaust, but correct me if I'm wrong. So that's what I'm up against. There's, you know, a couple of these back here weren't squirting oil either, so at this point, because I'm this far in, I'm pulling each one. I'm going to pull them one at a time, double check them for straightness, look for any signs of wear, and that. We've got maybe 10 minutes total of runtime on this engine. We haven't even broken it in. So, you know, I mean, everything still looks great. I had Joe double check my work. He's a wealth of knowledge, and I really appreciate him a lot. So give this video a thumbs up as a thank you to Joe for his helping me out. But I'm gonna take each one of these out one by one and just double check, put them back in, make sure they're torqued to spec. Like literally this time, instead of me just joking around saying, you know, torque it to high heaven. This stuff matters when you're in these technical things. But I'm going to run to the O'Reilly's, get a set of 8 plugs, just at this point replacing the plugs. Some of them could be fouled. I know that one of them was like blowing out the side. Okay, it's this one. Yep, right there. It's sparking out the corner of it. I don't know how well that comes through on camera, but I mean, it's obvious to the naked eye what's happening there. And I have one on this side that's doing the same thing. So I'm going to replace the plugs. I'm also going to buy a breather for that. It's the passenger side in the rear. There used to be I don't know, this used to go up and into the intake manifold, or intake, to the airbox. And there was a little sponge filter on it, whatnot. But I'm just going to put a breather cap on it, similar to what we have on Wallace. Same deal. That's what I'm going to do. I was able to use my fancy scope again. We looked down inside cylinder 5 to make sure there was no visible damage to the cylinder that's in there as well. Like if the valve got stuck when this rod bent. And luckily, we see no marking on the cylinder at all. So I think we're good on that. But I'm going to run to O'Reilly's while the engine cools off a little bit. It is hot. This thing was just, I couldn't touch it with my bare hands when I first pulled it out. It was really hot. So still have a battery charger going in case I get back to the point where we can start cranking on it again. But yeah, that's what's going on in my life on a Saturday. So that's fun. Half the day's gone now and we're just messing around. Dang it. Alright, I've already completely checked the driver's side. This here is the passenger side. What I'm doing is I'm pulling each rocker arm, pulling the rod, making sure that it's straight and that it's not clogged so that oil can flow through it. So I'm going to kind of just walk you through the steps. I've already loosened them all by hand so that I can just buzz them out with this real fast. And then I put them back in, obviously with a torque wrench. You want to make sure you torque these correctly. But I take this out and I hold on to the rod so I don't lose it. Make sure that it stays where it is. Don't want to drop one down inside the engine. I just clean this out and then I look at the bottom side and I'm looking for any undue scoring or whatnot. There's going to be a little bit of wear because we have ran it a little bit. And then I set that down. I'm only doing one at a time so that I put all the parts back in the exact same places that they were. You don't want to mix things up. I also keep a hold of this so that I know which end is down in the engine, so I hold on to the top end. I peek down through it, make sure I can see through it, and this one I actually can't see through very well, so I'm going to spray some carb cleaner down through it, and then you put a little dab of grease on each end and put it all back together. I just finger tighten them all. We're going to do them all, and then I'll go back through with the torque wrench, untorque them all to spec. 20 foot-pounds of torque for these. And I'm just using a little dab of grease on each one, so that's the process I'm going through. I'll put this on a time lapse at this point and you can kind of just watch me do several of them, and then I'll show me using the torque wrench as a final step to tighten them all. This side completely done, this side just getting warmed up.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago.
Tavis just got home. He's been at work all day. He has no idea what we've been through here. Torquing these all to 20 foot-pounds. Catastrophic failure, boy. Alright, Tavish has been brought up to speed. Now I can't remember where I left off. We'll just double check them. That one's good. I like to make it click and then back off one and just make sure that it clicks again so that I know for a fact I'm at my 20 pounds. So they're all consistent. Like that. And man, it feels like You should just be able to crank those down, but don't do it. Don't be tempted to do that. Well, I'm at the point where I'm at a complete standstill. I've put all of the valve lifters, rocker arms back in. They're torque to spec. I still don't get a lot of oil. I mean, you can see the oil puddled up here. I mean, all of them down there. There's nothing, no oil coming back through this one right here. But that's a problem on that side. This side, I'm getting oil to all of them, except for these last two down here. The biggest thing I'm scratching my head on is cylinder number 4 right there has puddles of fuel in it. We've had the fuel disconnected from this. I mean, it's right here. Here's my inlet for fuel. It's been disconnected. We've been cranking long enough that we're troubleshooting all the lifters and oil delivery, that sort of thing. The bent valve, or the bent lifter, right? That's what kind of got us under here in the first place. But I used my bore scope to poke down in there, and I'll put a picture of that, what I'm seeing down there. You can see fuel, like puddled up inside of that cylinder. I don't see it in number 3, number 2, whatever. It's only right there. And if I bump this, it'll spray that fuel out all over the place. But the question is, where is that coming from? This is a 351M carbureted with the original intake, cast iron intake, and it's what the frig's that called? A single barrel. It's not a dual barrel, double barrel. It's just single barrel carb, or two barrel carb. Anyway. Downhill on this side, I don't know. I took the lid off of the carburetor again and looked at the float to make sure that the float wasn't like set crazy. It seals, but there's no pressure in the system, so there's no fuel coming in. I just don't know at this point. Unless that carburetor's cracked and it's just dripping fuel down in. But again, it would only be enough from the bowl. The bowl would empty. I don't know. I'm at a complete loss for it. I can hear the accelerator pump doing its thing, so there's probably still fuel in the bowl. We're getting good clean fuel. Anyway, I'm at a complete loss. I've made a huge mess. I've got just a freaking crime scene underneath my truck. I finally put down some oil absorber because it was threatening to run clear out to the street. I don't need that kind of attention from my neighbors. Sorry about the wind, but I think I'm just going to close this video out here. Ask for some feedback from people. I'm not going to get this video posted for several weeks. I'll probably have it solved by the time somebody's like, oh yeah, I've seen that before. So, huge thank you to my buddy Joe. He was over here for a good hour, maybe even a little longer than that today, trying to help a guy out. I don't like leaving videos on a Debbie Downer like this, but I just don't know what else to do. I'm kind of at a loss. I've ordered valve cover gaskets, so those are on their way. O'Reilly's didn't have any in stock, so I'm kind of just waiting for them to come from Amazon. Again, I'll leave links down below. Appreciate all the support on that. Simple clicking those links helps the channel quite a bit. Little kickback on each order helps. Even if you don't order what you click on, it still helps. So, but this is Midnight Maroon, Troy's Garage. New name of the channel, Troy's Garage. And my garage is actually going to be built right back there. In the process of figuring all that out, any extra help at this point would be super beneficial. Appreciate that a lot. This here is Midnight Maroon. That over there is Wallace the 66. They're kind of the stars of the channel. If this is your first time here, 66 Ford F250, Wallace the 66. This is a 79 F250. We've nicknamed Midnight Maroon, kind of what spurred the channel to become what it is today. My mind is boggled by the support and the growth of the channel, etc. That's thanks to you guys. I really appreciate that. Like this video, share it with your friends, that kind of thing. That helps the channel grow as well. Looking to kind of take this to the next level. Excited for what the future could hold for me and the channel. Gotta get this thing fixed. My goal was to drive it today. I literally thought I'd come out here, put fresh fuel to it, start it, adjust the timing a little bit, and I'd back out and go on my first test drive. That's how I thought today was going to go. Not bent rods and lifters and leaking fuel and oil spilled all over the place. That wasn't the plan. Help me. Help me, help me. Appreciate that, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago.